All right, let's talk about one of the most controversial, page-turning thrillers of our time. I'm talking, of course, about the Da Vinci Code. Today, we're going to peel back the layers on this thing, look at the secret history, the wild claims, and really get to the bottom of what made Dan Brown's book a global phenomenon. So, buckle up.
So, this quote from the book's hero, Robert Langdon, this is basically the entire book in a nutshell. It's all about this idea that there's another history, a real history, buried just beneath what we've all been told. It's this thought that powerful people have been hiding the truth for centuries, and it's just sitting there, waiting for someone to find the clues and connect the dots.
So how does this whole thing kick off? Well, it starts with a bang, or more accurately, a body. And not just any body. We're talking about a super bizarre, almost ritualistic murder inside the Louvre. Yeah, the Louvre in Paris. And the victim is none other than the museum's own big-shot curator, a guy named Jacques Saunière.
And right away, this isn't your average murder. Saunière, with his last breaths, literally turns his own body into a message, a canvas of symbols. He isn't just a victim here, he's the creator of the first clue in this insane scavenger hunt. The whole crime scene is one big cryptic puzzle just begging for someone to solve it.
Okay, so to even begin to crack this thing, we have to understand the language Saunière was using. And I'm not talking about French. I'm talking about something much older, much more universal, the language of symbols. Where one single picture can pack in 1,000 years of history and meaning.
So let's take that big symbol he drew on himself, the pentacle. Now, I know what you're thinking, because Hollywood has taught us all to think it. Devil worship, right? But the book makes a huge point that actually that's not its origin at all. For thousands of years, that five-pointed star was a powerful symbol for the sacred feminine, for nature, for the goddess Venus, who, get this, actually traces a perfect pentacle in the sky.
So you gotta ask, right? How does a symbol for feminine divinity and nature turn into a symbol for pure evil? The book's answer is pretty bold. It was basically a PR hit job, a smear campaign. As the early church was rising to power, it needed to wipe out the competition. So they took the powerful symbols of the old pagan religions and they flipped them. They turned the sacred feminine into the demonic, twisting a symbol of reverence into one of fear.
And it wasn't just about pictures and stars. Saunière also left behind a number code. And it's all based on this number called the divine proportion, or phi, 1.618. It sounds kind of nerdy, but this number is literally everywhere in nature. It's in seashells, flowers, even the proportions of your own body. For a guy like Leonardo da Vinci, this was the ultimate proof of a divine creator, like God's own mathematical fingerprint on the universe.
So now we know this murder is a puzzle of symbols, but it's also way bigger than that. What we're really seeing is the latest bloody battle in a secret war, a war that's been fought in the shadows for centuries between two ancient, powerful secret societies, and they're both fighting over one secret, a secret that could literally change history as we know it.
Okay, so let's meet the players. In one corner, you've got the Priory of Sion. The book paints them as the good guys, the Guardians, a secret brotherhood that supposedly had members like Leonardo da Vinci and Isaac Newton. I mean, the heavy hitters, and their one job is to protect the Holy Grail. In the other corner, you have Opus Dei. Now, this is a real Catholic organization, but in the book, they're the hunters. They're laser-focused on finding that very same secret and destroying it for good.
And this whole secret war, this whole puzzle, it all leads to this. The single biggest, most explosive claim in the entire book. And the crazy part is, the secret isn't locked away in some vault. It's been staring us in the face this whole time, hidden in plain sight, inside one of the most famous paintings ever created.
So what is the Holy Grail? I mean, we all know the story, right? It's the cup Jesus drank from at the Last Supper, some kind of magical chalice. But what if that's not the whole story? What if that's just a cover-up, a brilliant piece of misdirection to hide what the Grail really is?
This is where Leonardo da Vinci comes back in. The book says that as the head of the Priory of Sion, he hid the truth right here in his masterpiece, The Last Supper. And you have to remember, the church was paying his bills. He couldn't just come out and say it, so he had to be sneaky, embedding subtle clues, turning his greatest work into the ultimate puzzle box.
Okay, now I want you to look really closely at the painting. Find Jesus, and then look at the person sitting right next to him, at his right hand. That's the seat of honor. For centuries, we've been told that's the Apostle John. But just look, really look. Notice the long, flowing red hair, the The smooth, beardless face, the delicate features. Does that look like a man to you?
So to figure out what's going on, we have to do a little wordplay. It's all about the name. In Old French, the term for the Holy Grail was Sang Réel, one word, and it meant, well, Holy Grail. Pretty straightforward, you'd think.
But what if we've been saying it wrong all this time? What if you break that word up differently? Not San Grail, but Sang Réel. 2 words. Suddenly it means something completely different. It means royal blood. Boom! The Holy Grail wasn't a cup at all. It was a bloodline, a person.
And there you have it. That is the massive, world-shattering claim at the heart of the Da Vinci Code. The Holy Grail is Mary Magdalene. The book argues that the person sitting next to Jesus in that painting isn't John, it's her. She wasn't a prostitute, she was his wife, and she was royalty herself. And when Jesus died, she was pregnant with his child. She was the carrier of the royal blood. The whole point of the Priory of Sion wasn't to protect some cup, it was to protect her and their descendants, who the book claims are still alive today.
So let's just step back for a second. Why did this book become such a monster hit? We're talking over 80 million copies sold. It clearly wasn't just another thriller. It hit a nerve. It tapped into something way deeper in our culture.
What Dan Brown did so brilliantly was blur the lines between what's real and what's fiction. He used real places, like the Louvre, real groups, like Opus Dei, real art, and he wove his story through them so seamlessly that it made millions of people stop and question, well, everything. It kicked off this huge global conversation about history, about faith, and about a really fundamental question. Who gets to decide what's true?
And really, that's what it all boils down to. It leaves you with this one giant question. Is history this solid, factual thing that's set in stone? Or is it just a story? A story that's been written by the winners, while other stories, maybe even other truths, are still down there, buried just beneath the surface, waiting for us.
Hey, if you enjoyed this deep dive and it got you thinking, do me a favor and hit that like button. And make sure you subscribe so you don't miss our next explainer. If you want to go down the rabbit hole yourself, you can support our channel by grabbing a copy of the Da Vinci Code using the link in the description below. Or, hey, listen to it for free with an Audible trial. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.